Hey guys, how's it going? It's Beginnings here. I hope you guys are having a wonderful week so far. Today's video is going to be the long-awaited Ormarr video. I don't think I've had a video of Ormarr up on my channel yet. I know a lot of people asked for it, but he really just wasn't that strong until they buffed his ultimate, where there's no longer a cap to his healing, and also the new enchantment system was incorporated into the game. He's probably like, I'd say A tier. He's definitely not S tier in my opinion, at least not in solo queue. He falls off really hard like late game, and he's pretty squishy if he gets behind. He definitely like kind of needs to snowball, or he's just like a very mediocre support. And the fact that he really isn't the best for peeling either just kind of adds to his like why he's not the best support out right now, you know? So we go ahead and start on the same side of the jungle as our jungler, or same side of the map as our jungler. We see the Fennec is throwing out little things, so we ended up going down just to make sure that nobody else was doing anything crazy on the bot side, since we knew the top side was fine. I start the small camp, but then I see that Baldum's coming up, and then I'm like, wait a second, there's a Pyrrha here. And then I realized that Baldum is actually their Dark Slayer laner. And then I was like, oh, it's actually okay that he's here, because that means he is missing an entire wave. Not only did he miss an entire wave, but I think he might have actually soaked part of the mid laner's wave too, so pretty good for us. We ended up ahead overall there. Our Nakaroth probably isn't going to have as much of a time in side lane. Yes, that is a Nakaroth side lane, but just because of the advantage he got early on, he'll probably be fine. I'd say normally like that's probably like a hard-ish matchup, but it's okay. We get some pretty nice poke onto this Tulin. He's poked to about half, but he probably still has his heal pack in his restore. Also, Pyrrha is a thing, so probably not the most damage. We're getting good bits of poke out though. Like, this is where Ormarr excels. He dashes in, he hits you, you're CC'd, he walks away. There's just nothing you can do about it. Especially if you're something like a Pyrrha. I'd say the strongest supports right now against Ormarr are like Baldum, Arum, anyone that can either trade back or is just so tanky that his poke does nothing, right? So now we're just trying to stay on the same side of the map as our jungler. We find this Fennec in the middle of his jungle, kind of just sitting there. We give him a little bit of love tap just to let him know what's going on, and then we finish our rotation up. We're going to follow him. We see he's going for this Ryoma, and he's overextended quite a bit. Get a nice little knockup followed by a stun. He gets poked, and Pyrrha walks right into Darcy's little bomb, and Ryoma will go ahead and finish that up with his B. I think it's like a Wailing Blade. I'm actually not sure at all. Somehow I end up tanking this tower, so I have to get out of there. Managed to knock up the Fennec and secure the assist because Darcy did a great job at tagging him with his ultimate. I was really hoping my team would just kill the tower here so I could hit 4 and then like get us out of there, but unfortunately I don't know what they were really doing, and so we don't hit 4 soon enough and we do fall, but we do secure the tower. So worth overall, definitely. We are pretty good all around the map. As of right now, our Nakaroth is surprisingly doing pretty well. Fortunately, Ryoma definitely overextends or overstays, and we'll get caught out for it. I'm debating going up top to defend this wave. I see Fennec disappear for a second, so I walk away, but then I see that he was actually trying to catch the wave, but I guess he can't read the map correctly because he ended up missing it. Pretty funny, actually. So I will end up coming up here just to catch the wave a little bit. I want to try to either minimize the damage on the tower or just hold the way for Ryoma. I see Ryoma's heading towards mid, so I ping him. I was really just holding the way for him, so don't really know why he was going mid. Gonna start my rotation down. I see the Pyrrha here. I'm gonna go ahead and dash on her, get a little bit of damage off. She pops her heal, so there's not much I can do. Fennec also threw his little stacky dot thingy on me, so I know that I can't actually do too much here. We get a nice little stun, and Pyrrha gets tagged by the Darcy ult. She has to blow heal to survive there. Pretty good for us. Fennec uses his little thing, so he's a pretty slow boy. And Quillen definitely has his eyes set onto him. Quillen's going for the dive, but unfortunately Fennec does have the Death Sickle. Unluckily for Fennec though, it doesn't matter. Quillen is still able to finish him off. I go ahead and pop my ult for that little heal, tank up the Tulin ult there, but Quillen does still fall. A 2-for-1 though, it is okay. Tulin is pretty low as well, so we can potentially push down this mid tower, especially since we have Ryoma coming up with the wave right now. Baldum rather, is really nowhere to be found. So we have to be careful here. I see Murad is stacking up on the left side, so I go ahead and dance away. Weirdly, he chases after me instead of just clearing the mid wave, and because he does that, we're able to get the mid tower because we had a wave and a Darcy, and Tulin was not able to clear that up for them. With a mid tower down and a top tower down, really the only tower left to take is the bot tower, and I think it will be going down any second now. Hey look, there it is. It's almost like I know the outcome of this game or something crazy, right? So we now have all 3 first tier towers down. This is probably the biggest part of the game where people get kind of lost in rotations. Right now, basically what we're going to do is we want to end up on the same side of the map as our jungler because we want to fight. We have a very strong early to mid game. So now is definitely the time where we want to start snowballing the advantage we got in the early game. And you see we do just that by taking out their dragon laners, their ADC and support, and immediately moving into their jungle. We do see that their red buff is gone, so we're not going to be able to take it. Instead, we're going to have to defend this wave that was coming in with Murad. I see that Nakaroth is taking his blue, so I'm just going to do my best to zone the Murad away from that blue buff. Nakaroth finishes off the blue and collapses on the Murad. I know that Murad is eventually just going to go back to his little shadow, so I'm kind of babysitting it, waiting a little bit. We pop Murad's death sickle before he falls shortly after. You can see the enemy team is complaining about their support, whatever, don't really care. I think the support was actually typing back here, probably being flamed by his team. It's fine, no big deal. Baldum dashes in, isn't able to succeed in getting anything. I see Darcy lands an ult onto the Fennec, so I'm going to go ahead and follow that up. Tulin lives with just a sliver of HP, and we are making plenty of space for our team to get a little bit of damage onto this tower and maybe potentially kill the Baldum. Unfortunately, the wave does fall, so we're not going to be able to secure the mid tower, but Nakaroth was doing his thing, split pushing in the bot lane, manages to get that one, rotates up mid for the next wave, and we secure 2 towers. This Nakaroth actually ends up putting in quite a bit of work this game. It's pretty crazy. I think he ends up securing like 4 towers total, which is pretty good for a Darkslayer Nakaroth. Like, I'm not going to complain personally. We see our team is looking a little bit scrappy up top, so I'm just going to go ahead and come up here, help them out a little bit. That's when I noticed that our wave is like 10 miles back, and I'm like, what are we actually doing here? Quillen one-shots the Murad, and our mid-wave is being pushed under tower. Tulin has to go defend, Pyrrha pops her ultimate, and that's when I know that we have an opportunity to push this tower, at least until my team kind of wusses out. And so we're not really committing for this, especially since Nakaroth is pushing bot tower, and I'm just doing my best to slow them down until he can get that high ground. That is 3 towers in the name of Nakaroth so far. And I ping top because we have a wave coming in just a little bit. We try to clear up mid as best as we can, make sure to create some space for a Nakaroth. Quillen is going in. Unfortunately, I get caught by the Baldum ult. As soon as I get out of the Baldum ult, I'm just going to go ahead and pop my ultimate, and I know that I am unkillable as long as I am spinning. You can see I live with about a quarter HP after walking in the middle of 4 people. I started going up, but then I see Murad has 4 stacks, so I am forced to back off. I go to try and mess with him just a little bit because I know he has no stacks and no cooldowns. While I was doing that, I guess Nakaroth ended up taking mid tower, which is great. I think that is the 4th tower he's taken. He tries to be slick and poke out that Murad just a little bit and ends up dying for it because of that tower, unfortunately. I accidentally popped my ult a little bit soon there, I'm gonna be honest, but we do secure the tower. The enemy team is pretty screwed. We have all 3 high grounds. I tried my best to save Darcy there. Unfortunately, the Tulin ult was enough to finish him off, and my team is hurt enough that we have to back off for now. But with 3 high grounds being gone, this game is in the bag. It is all over. I was gonna like try to say a euphemism or a simile or something there, but I couldn't really think of anything to actually say. I'm just messing around, spamming my recall on the wave. I know that they're going to come clear it soon enough, especially since Murad is probably going to be clearing his jungle. His blue buff does come up, so I'm just going to sit here and camp for it. They didn't have any vision of me coming into the bush, and boy, this Murad has a rough time. He just gets popped like a little grape. We're going to go ahead and push our waves in now. Our mid and our bot wave are synced enough, I guess, and so we're just gonna go ahead and push them in. Unfortunately, nobody catches the next bot wave, so we won't be able to sync the waves, but I will get a nice 3-man knockup and then get a 4-man ult. I managed to stun, I think, everybody. Tulin ults me, but you can see my health is not going down fast enough, and the game ends there. This game was really fun to play. I really enjoy playing Ormarr right now. Please be sure to drop a like and subscribe, and ignore the fact that the victory screen is flipped upside down. If you enjoyed this type of content, come around next time. I will see you guys next time again. See ya.